Welcome to online lessons with Sir Chris. In this video, I'm going to show you how to calculate variances. The sales variance, the direct labor variances, and the labor variances. So this is the question. Lim Limited manufactures plastic storage boxes. The material purchased as large sheets of plastic ready for pressing into shape. These are the actual results. You can actually see those actual results. Okay, these are actual results. There were no opening or closing stocks of boxes. Okay, then the budget standard cost details for the year ended 31 March 2009 were budget sales of boxes will be 24,010 each. Each box would require 1,4 meters of plastic, 320. You can see the question. You can just go through the question. Each box would require 10 minutes of direct labor paid at 8.40 per hour. Then the actual results for the year ended 31 March 2009 showed 20,000 boxes were made and sold, 27,000 meters squared of plastic was used, and 4,000 of direct labor time were used. Then required, calculate. So they want us to calculate these 9 variances. Sales volume, sales price, total sales, raw material usage, raw material price, total raw material labor efficiency. Okay, but if we quickly go back to the question here, if we check here, we had budgeted that we are going to produce 24,000 boxes, but the actual results show that we produced 20,000. That's when I said in the previous video, whenever budgeted output differs from the actual output, the budget must be flexed to produce the one for the actual output. And that's the major trick when you are doing standard costing. Okay, so we now need to calculate this question. Okay, so the first one we are going to deal with sales volume. Okay, let's deal with sales volume. Let me delete all these pages. Let's start new pages. Okay, so number 1, we need to calculate sales volume. The formula for sales volume is master budget sales minus flexible budget sales. Okay, then let's go back and check. Master budget simply refers to budgeted sales revenue. Then FBS, that's flexible budgeted sales revenue. How do we calculate FBS? That's my working. FBS equals to budgeted selling price per unit times actual unit sold. So that's our FBS. It's budgeted selling price per unit times actual unit sold. So let's check from the question. Let's quickly go back to the question. Okay. If you check from the question, here, our budgeted selling price per unit is 10. Why? Remember, we budgeted to sell 24,000, but we actually sold 20,000. So it's budgeted selling price of 10 here times actual unit sold of 20,000. Okay, that's our FBS. Then MBS simply refers to the budgeted sales revenue. So our budgeted sales revenue is 24,000 times 10. That's 24,000. But for FBS now, it's budgeted selling price per unit times actual units sold of 20,000. Okay, let's go do it. So here we are now saying budgeted selling price per unit is 10 times actual units sold 20,000 equals to 200,000. That's our FBS. So let's substitute it here now. So MBS is 240,000. Remember from the question, our budgeted units 24,000, which are being sold at 10 per unit. Minus FBS, we just calculated it here, we get 200,000. So 240 minus 200,000, our answer is 40,000. Okay, then the question, is it favorable or adverse? Remember, this is revenue. So we had budgeted that we are going to sell 240,000. If we sell 200,000 units, is it a favorable? It's an adverse. The answer is an adverse. Why? We are earning less revenue than the one we had budgeted. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one, number 82, that's sales price variance. The formula is FBS minus AS. Okay, the FBS we have just calculated it here. Let's now check how much was our actual revenue. Let's go back to the question. Okay, if we go back to the question, let's check. If we go back to the question quickly, here the actual results for the year ended 31 March 2009 were as follows. Sales, it's $190,000. That's our actual sales. Then the FBS, we have calculated it. Okay, so let's go back. So we are now substituting now. FBS 200,000. We are just taking it from here. Then actual sales, I've just shown you that it's 190,000. So if we calculate here, the difference is 10,000. So the budget that we are going to sell 200,000 units, the FBS. But if we sell 190, is it a benefit or it's a loss to the business? This is going to diminish our profitability. So this is a what? Adverse. Then A3. They want us to calculate the total sales. The formula for total sales, I said it's volume, that's sales volume, plus sales what? Price. So let's substitute, we are now using our answers now. For volume, we calculated it's 40,000. So we just put 40,000 here, but it's minus 40,000. Then plus the price, we have just calculated it here, that's 10,000. Adverse. Okay, so if you calculate, we get 50,000 adverse. That's the total sales. Let's go now. Let's first open new page. Let's go back to the question. Let's go back to the question. If we go back to the question, the third part of the A3 of the question, they want us to calculate the raw material usage. When we are dealing with usage, the formula is standard quantity minus actual quantity. Let's write the formula. Raw material usage. The formula is standard quantity minus actual quantity, then times standard what? Price. So it's standard quantity minus actual quantity times standard price. But the standard quantity now, you have to calculate it. Okay? Let me write it here. Minus AQ so that it will be visible. Okay? Standard quantity is calculated. Remember we said whenever budgeted output differs from actual output, the budget must be flexed to produce one for the actual output. So if we check from the question, let's observe from the question. If you observe from the original question, what was our budgeted output? Remember, it budgeted that we are going to produce 24,000. But 20,000 boxes were produced. So what's the formula of calculating standard quantity? Remember, I gave you the formula. So the budgeted quantity, we had budgeted that we are going to, each unit requires 1,4 meters squared. So what to flex? We simply say 1,4 times 20,000 boxes, isn't it? That's the formula. Remember from the previous video, I said to calculate standard quantity, which is flex, it's budgeted quantity of material to produce one unit. That's 1,4. And we multiply it by the actual unity produced to get our standard quantity, which is flexed. So let's go calculate then the actual quantity so that we don't come back to the question. The actual results for the year, 27,000 meters squared of plastic was used. So our actual quantity is 27,000 squared. But for the budgeted now, for the flexed, it's 1,4 times 20,000. Okay, let's go. Okay, so here our SQ is now 1,4 meters squared times 20,000. That's how you get the one which is flexed. Okay, so it's 1,4 times 20,000. It gives us 28,000 minus the actual quantity which was given. I've shown you is 27,000. Then times standard price. Let's check what's our standard price from the question. Okay, quickly, if we check from the question, our standard price here, each box would require 1,4 meters squared of plastic at 320 per meter squared. That's standard price. Remember, I said standard price is the price paid to purchase material per unit. Okay, so let's go substitute it. Okay, quickly, that's 3,2 here. So let's calculate. So it's 28,000 minus 27,000. Then we multiply by 3,2. We get 3,200. And this one now, this is for material. We were expecting that we are going to use 28,000 meters squared of material. But if we use 27,000, it's less. So it's a favorable. Okay, let's go to the next one. That's A5. A5. They want us to calculate the raw material price variance. Okay, the formula is standard price minus actual price. Then we have actual quantity. So it's SP minus AP. Then we have AQ here. Okay, so let's substitute the standard price we've just used in the previous question, 3,2 minus AP. Let's leave it. AQ, we've just used AQ. That's 27,000 meters squared. Let's go check from the question. How do we determine our actual price? This is the actual price paid per unit of material purchased. Okay, so let's go back to the source again to the question. So if we check from our question, okay, not this one, sorry. If we go back to our question, let's check. If we observe the actual result for the year, 27,000 meters squared of plastic was used. These are actual results. Then if you scroll up, raw materials, they costed 89,100. So it's 89,100. But the quantity used, it's 27,000. So what is the price per unit? So let's go calculate it quickly. So it's 89,100 divided by the quantity of material. So it's 89,100 divided by 27,000. We get 3,3. And our answer will be, so it becomes 3,2 minus 3,3. We multiply by 27,000. We get 2.7. And it's negative. So if it's negative, that's an what? Adverse. We're expecting that we are going to pay 3,2 to purchase raw material per unit. But if we use 3,3, this is more. So our answer will be adverse. Okay? So then next, they want us to calculate total. Okay? Remember, it's still A. They want us to calculate total raw material. Okay? The total raw material, the formula is SP times SQ minus AP times AQ. So in simple terms, I can simply now substitute. If you still remember, our SP is 3,2 times our SQ, which we flexed, it was 28,000 minus our AP, which is 3,3 times 27,000. Okay, so you quickly calculate it, or you can simply use the answer for the material in the labor. So it's 3,2 times 20,000 minus 3,3 times 27,000. Okay, we get 500, which is favorable, which you can only confirm also if you simply say 3.2 favorable minus 2.7, that's your answer 500 favorable. Okay, then let's go back to the question. If you go back to the question, let's check again the next part of the question. The next part of the question, okay? Let me check this one, okay? If you go to the next part of the question, they want us to calculate the direct labor efficiency and the direct labor rate and total direct, isn't it? So, let's go to the board. If you want to calculate direct labor efficiency, the formula is standard hours minus actual hours. But remember, our budgeted output differs from the actual output. So the budget must be flexed. The budget must be flexed to produce one for the actual output. So to calculate our standard hours, remember I said, you say budgeted hours to produce 1 unit times the actual unit produced. It gives you your standard hours. That's what you call flexing a budget. So our budgeted hours, each box would require 10 minutes of direct labor. So let's put it in hours, it's 10 over 60 times actual units produced under the actual results, 20,000. Okay, so let's go. Then the actual hours, it's 4,000 here, so that we do not come back here. So we are going to say 10 over 60 times 20,000, that's our standard hours, minus the actual hours, which is given here, 4,000 hours under the actual result. So let's go do it. Okay, let's go the formula now. That's okay, so labor efficiency, we are saying SH minus AH, then we have standard rate. So if we substitute now, our standard hours, we are saying it's 10 over 60 because budget is 10 over 60 times actual units produced, isn't it? So we are substituting it now. If we say 10 divided by 60 times 20,000, okay, times 20,000, we get 3333, okay, minus actual hours, I have shown you that it's 4,000. Then standard rate, if we check from the question, what's our standard rate? Okay? What's our standard rate? If you check from the question, standard rate is the amount which has been budgeted to be paid per hour work. So each box would require 10 minutes of direct labor time, paid at 8.40 per hour. So that's our standard rate. That's our standard rate. So we put it here, 8,4. So let's calculate. So 3333 minus 4,000 times 8,40. That's times 8,40. We get 5603. It was 28, so I rounded it off. That's a negative, so it's a what? Adverse. We're expecting that the employees are going to work 3 hours, quite 3 hours, sorry, but they actually work 4,000 hours. So it's an adverse, okay? Next one, they want us to calculate the labor rate, direct labor rate. The formula is standard rate minus actual rate, then we have actual hours. So we are substituting now, we just have used the standard rate minus actual rate, we are going to bring it down. The actual hours, we know them already, that it's 4,000. So let's go check our actual rate, okay? Let's go back to the source, to the question, okay? What's our actual rate? So if we check here, direct labor for under actual results, they were paid 33,000. But this is not actual rate. Remember, rate is the amount paid per hour work, which is 1 hour. So it's 33,000. And how many hours we actually worked? Actual results is 4,000. So we are going to say 33,000. Here, the actual cost of labor divided by 4,000 hours. Then we get the actual rate per hour. So let's go calculate it here. So it's 33,000 divided by 4,000. That's our actual rate. So if you quickly divide 33,000 divided by 4,000, we get 8,25. So it's now 8,40 minus 8,25 times 4,000. We get 600, which is a positive. That's a favorable variance. Okay. The next one, they want us now to calculate. That's number 9. They want us to calculate the total what? Labor. The total labor, the formula is standard rate times standard hours minus actual rate times actual hours. Let's now substitute. We now have the answers. This is 8,4. This one we have calculated was 333. Then minus actual rate we just calculated. It's 8,25 times the actual hours, which is 4,000. I'm just taking them from these two formulas, from the labor rate and from the labor efficiency. Okay. So if we calculate, so it's 8,4 times part 3 then minus 8,25 times 4,000. Okay. We get 5003. Which is a what? Adverse. Okay? So that's how you calculate the main variances, the main major variance. And remember, make sure whenever budgeted output differs from actual output, the budget must be flexed so that we produce the one for the actual output. That's the trick when we are dealing with standard costing. Okay, in the next video I'm going to do a bit more complicated question than this one. Thank you.